Alright, I think I've had enough time to use these guys. The newest Dokkanfest TURs, Android 17 and 18 from the Tournament of Power. I want to go ahead and make a tier list ranking the Dokkanfest TURs. Now, the last time I did a Dokkanfest TUR tier list was when Super Trunks come out. It's a very long time at this point. We've had the new Dismal Future Red Zone and all these new difficult content come out that are basically the hardest events in the game to help like kind of shift things a little bit around, not really too much, I feel like, but it definitely does matter that Fusion Zamasu is existing as a boss, for example, Goku Black and Zamasu, Rose, etc, etc. So I mean, let's just hop right into it. We have the 10 units that we're going to go ahead and rank on the tier list, and I guess we'll just start off at number 10. We have Dokkan Festival Yamcha, I think. So I had Turles at like last time with this tier list, I had Turles at 9 and Yamcha at 10. I decided to put Yamcha at 10 here above Turles. I think a lot of these fights have, we had Omega as the hardest fight in the game last time, right? And I think Turles, overall was better than Yamcha in like all the content that existed. But all this content now, I feel like we've gotten a lot of very short fights, and Yamcha, with his intro buff up, he has the high chance to dodge just, from turn 1. I think he does a lot better on the general ranking of the fights currently, like with all the fights that exist, compared to Turles. He has a better leader skill, right? His leader skill is going to continue to get better. I think Yamcha could cook a lot better than Turles in some of these fights, right? And how the game currently is. And I like to consider a lot with like the fights that currently exist in the game. That makes a lot of sense. Like, not necessarily when it's just like one fight introduced doesn't really shift many units, but when there's like, we just got like 6 short difficult fights right now that are very hard. So we got the Rose Goku Black, the Fusion Zamasu and Goku Black, even like sort of Hope Trunks, Tech Merge Zamasu, the Esther Vegeta Blue from like the Divine Wrath event, right? There's a lot of these short fights that are introduced where Yamcha is going to be much more successful of a unit, which is why I decided to have him at 10 over Turles compared to last time. But let me know what you guys think, if you think that Turles would be better suited in this specific spot or not. Now next, let's move on to our number 9 spot here, which is going to be Gamma 2. It's kind of crazy. Gamma 2 at 9. But Gamma 2 is about to be years old, so I guess that makes sense at this point. For a long time, the Gammas were very, very good. I think, there's not really much else for me to say about Gamma 2. I think he's better than Yamcha. Even though Yamcha, I think, has a stronger starting turn performance, Gamma 2, when he's like built up and everything, he's better overall for like longer fights as well. On top of that, Gamma 2 does have the nullification, which I think is very interesting, and he doesn't like run out of power. Like, well, Yamcha does lose that intro buff, and that intro buff Yamcha has is very huge, giving them key to an 150% attack and defense. You feel when Yamcha does lose this buff. You can almost say that I wish this was 5 turns. I think that would be a massive game changer. Like 4 to 5 turns, it definitely makes a really huge difference. That's an extra rotation that you could leave the character on for in terms of like Yamcha. Though if Yamcha's floating as a unit, it's not really that big of a deal. But I like Yamcha more. He's also supporting, right? I think that support is like just a nice little addition on top of that. And I think he's just overall max is better than what Yamcha is doing, so that's why I have Gamma 2 above him. Next, we'll go back to Super Trunks. Again, the tier list from here is very similar to how I had it before. I'll just fill in the next few spots. We have Super Trunks. I have Where Is the Boy, Pat the Pirate Kid Goku, and then I have Gamma 1 here. I think I feel comfortable with like how things are like this, like how the tier list was last time. I think you can make an argument if you really want. You can move Trunks up like a little even higher, like these 3. But my main issue with Trunks is that this base form was weak. Android Cell Saga has become way better. That definitely was one of the issues he's had. But I think Trunks, a lot of the times is still a unit that's just like, guard, you are okay. Don't guard, you're dead. right? You know, and especially because one other thing about all these events that I've ushered in, there's so many int fights. Omega's int, right? Well, Omega's not that big of an issue for this Trunks, since when you get to Super Trunks, you have the guaranteed guard and you have this usher ability, right? But let's say Super Trunks, right? You know, there's a tech int enemy. Fusion Zamasu int start of turn. Int Zamasu obviously is int start of turn. We have the Goku Black and Zamasu is end in fight, right? In terms of his phases as well. A lot of times, you know, you get to those final phases, or obviously Stern 1, you don't even like get the opportunity to transform in these really hard-hitting teams, especially on a team like Android, you know, Cell Saga based, right? I mean, there's so many like at this point we've gotten a lot of Android Cell Saga units that are good. Future Gohan here, we got into Future Gohan as well. Again, a lot of his characters really help out. Or if you're running on the Future Saga team with a lot of Android Cell Saga units, like with double STRL or Future Gohan, which is probably his own best setup, you're just gonna kind of clear through these events, I think, very quickly. Super Trunks though is so incredibly good, which is why I'm just like, if you want to move him up, sure, but I'm very critical about the Super Saiyan Trunks version of this character. And again, it's really the high chance to guard with such a restrictive passive. It's just bad design. Why do you have such a it's still a very restrictive passive, right? Because it's not like, you know, this team is like the best team in the game. We got 2 units that are very good for this, and then you still have to run a 3rd unit. I mean, the 3rd unit you could run as Angel or Gohan, right? On the Future Saga team, you just have to run the double Future Gohans and the Future Gohan, and it gets faster, right? But it's like, there's not like every single team that this Trunks is on, you know, especially if you know, we consider a little bit for the future. Like, Earthbred Fighters are not going to be able to run this guy on. Power Beyond Super Saiyan, you can't really run this guy on that team, right? There's a lot of like good teams that are out right now that you can't really run this unit in at its full potential because you can't get that ability active. So that's the issue, I think, with this Trunks, is that he's so restrictive, and then he still has like a 50% chance he's just dead, especially with how many int enemies there are right now. Tech units are kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage. Well, you know, considering Path to Power Kid Goku, right? He has reduction with all these int phases. He's able to handle himself just fine. I think Path to Power Kid Goku is just absolutely incredible. I'm a huge fan of this character. Still, even now, I think his design is just, he's still one of the better design units that have come out in the past few years. He's just really, really good, right? I'm sure we all know how good Path to Power Kid Goku is. Gamma 1, another unit where he's guarding, right? So he technically always has type advantage. He does not have to worry about type advantage, you know, for the first few sections of the fight. And then once his full 50% reduction is built up, given he has like his links up with like Gamma 2, this unit is able to still eat many of the hardest hitting super attacks in the game. I mean, STR Sin, I know this guy eats STR Sin super attack quite well. In Omega, not really. You know, he's really good against the Fusion Zamasu fight because when a guards runs out, he still has type advantage with the 50% reduction. You know, even like Int Goku Black Rose or the Tech Fusion Zamasu and, the Tech Zamasu and Goku Black. This unit, I'm pretty sure, would still be able to live those super attacks, you know, on like the superheroes team. So that's just really good. This guy's aged incredibly well, and obviously because he's a defensive unit, he's even making your entire rotation tank better. He has a nullification, which, you know, there have been some unarmed super attacks recently, I believe, at the top of my head. I think Fusion Zamasu does not have an unarmed super attack, so you can literally just counter Fusion Zamasu super with this unit. I like him a lot. I think he is very, very good. Big fan of this Gamma 1. Another one of the really, really well designed units of the recent times, right? So I feel very confident here. Now again, this next spot is where I'm still kind of like, I'm still kind of thinking about it, and it really does obviously depend on how things are going to look in the future, you know, with the landscape of the game. And I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about at this point. I think 5 is where I will have the androids currently. I'm like, so, like, you know, I'm thinking like, the only thing is that, like, you know, like this guy against Omega, would I take Gamma 1 or this unit against Omega? I would take that. I would take Gamma 1 against Omega. Even take Path to Power Kid Goku against Omega. But I think overall this unit, how do I explain it? I think this unit is at the same time still providing so much to the team that I just can't put him below like 5 to where the Gammas are in Path to Power Kid Goku is. I think that it's difficult. The biggest issue with this unit is by far the fact that they get the 35% reduction on super attack. I mean, I don't know. we know how the rest of the tier list is going to be, so I could show this for now. I like have him here. I think it's like a little bit interchangeable. I don't know, because I don't think I would have put this unit above Kale, which is another unit. This unit and Kale have like similar issues where Kale, obviously, in this unit, they have to attack to get their reduction and they both get absolutely obliterated. But Kale still can transform, and then Super Saiyan 2 Kale is just absolutely busted. Universe 6 needs help, for sure, but like, you know, if we're talking about like Omega, you know, this unit can succeed well. Even like the Rose Goku Black stage, this unit, you know, their type advantage in the first phase. Even in the Zamasu Goku Black stage, this unit won't really be that good in. Whilst comparatively, this unit will be really good against the Goku Black and Zamasu stage. But another thing about this unit is, either way, like, you know, Universe 6 and, like, tournaments... I would say, well, tournament participants Goku is probably in a better situation than Universe 6 is, like you could argue, because we have the UI Gokus, right? The UI Gokus work really, really well. But then it's like, comparatively, Universe 6, like, characters work a lot better, I feel like, with this scale than what tournament participants Goku does with this unit, because this unit really wants like Android Assault, you know, Twin Terrors, Infinite Energy, even Shocking Speed, right? Like a lot of these like these Gokus is just Fierce Battle and Tournament of Power, and it's like bare minimum with links. It just makes this unit a lot weaker. This unit still wants to meet key requirements, which I don't think it's as bad because they do orb change, but the orb changing only lasts for 4 turns, which I don't know why. Like, there's a lot of little holes you could poke into this unit, and while they're still good, they are annoying a lot of times to run and to like use in a lot of situations. The Scouter with Goku is really cool. I like this ability. Their unit super attack, I think, is the biggest thing because they're designed around having this up all the time, but like your whole team is not going to be just 17-18 and then the rest of the team is Goku. Like, that's not always going to be a thing most of the time. Like, you're running like MVP 17. I've had so many rotations where first rotation I end up with both of these guys and then like MVP 17 or something, and then it's like we can't even get the unit super attack to start the ball rolling, and then their team is so weak. It's like, I don't know, like comparatively Kale's team is way better. What, transformation boost, right? There's so many good transformation boost Saiyans, so I mean, Ejo or Gohan, you could still really win. I guess you could range Gohan on this team, right? But like Orange Piccolo, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Future Gohan, LR Ultimate Gohan works really well on a lot of stages, Physical God Goku, right? There's a lot of good Saiyan units you could reuse here, even like this Vegeta right here, that you can get away with it. I mean, you could even run Super Trunks on our team, right? I think so, right? Is there another Android Cell Saga unit? I guess not. So probably not, but like, you guys get the point. I think what I'm trying to express here, I like this unit at 5 and then this unit at 4. I mean, we might as well fill the rest in. I mean, you could probably put God Goku above 23rd World Tournament if you want, but that's, again, just because like tech units are at a bit of a disadvantage with all these physical bosses, right? Which is the reason why I had Path to Parkid Goku above the tech Super Trunks. But I think 23rd World Tournament Goku just provides, he just, I like him just overall. How do I explain it? Like, I think that what he's doing is just too much, right? And even like his defensive stat could get so high. I mean, earlier I was running this guy, in fact, on the Androids team. This unit was like at 900k defense without his revive buff, right? He uses at 900k defense, and then he has a high chance to guard. And that's good, right? He wasn't even fully built up, I think, with this. So it just shows you this unit could look really good, and his team is very strong too. I guess you could say God Goku's team is also very strong. It's like very difficult. This unit, the 6 orbs, not really too bad. Reviving with the other characters could be a little annoying with this unit. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's a toss-up. Obviously, my junior is by far number 1, but this is what I'm thinking. Like this, I feel comfortable with. I mean, yeah, because like, again, these guys are like in the same tier. I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, Yamcha can go up here, but like, you know, they're like in the same relative tier of power. But the androids could move up, I think, for sure. Let's say we get tournament participants UI Goku LR 9th anniversary. He leads that category. You throw this unit on the team, and then we get a new hardest man in the game that doesn't do AoEs for the first time in like years. And like this unit is like really good for that stage and really good for Goku. And they're providing a scouter. You can put like UI Goku and just dodges the super attack, right? And then this unit is supporting for 2 turns. The buff right there, 50% on super, like on the rotation, and they're orb changing and they're doing just so much. And it's like, okay, yeah, you know, they have the potential. They're an investment unit, but I have to judge them with how they are right now in the game. We can't say for sure that's gonna happen. Maybe we don't get UI Goku for like freaking 10 until the 10th anniversary, something weird, right? I would say it's going to be sooner than later though, which is why maybe I'm being a little more like, you know, I like you could be like this. You could do this, I think. That's the androids right now. Just because of the current landscape of the game. But maybe I'm being a little nice to them, but I really do think that their potential is really high and what they can provide is really good. Maybe it's just like I don't like them as a leader unit, because running 2 of them, like if you're like, let's say for example, like before I close out, let's say LR Rose Goku Black. He's a unit that also has to super attack to get all his buffs. And well, to be fair, he is a like easy A unit compared to him being a just a normal, like let's say like brand new unit that you have to spend money for. If you're like running just one Rose in that fusions Zamasu team, and you have like a mega carry fusions Zamasu, you have all Age-O Zamasu, right? All these units Zamasu Junior, that'll be fine for the most part. Then it's okay if like you have one unit that takes like, let's say 300k normal even. You have so much HP now. Tech fusions Zamasu is just very tanky, right? Like let's say for the fusions Zamasu fight. I guess the only disadvantage is that this unit, you know, against Omega isn't really gonna be that great, because they basically just die against Omega because he does 3 AoEs. That's the issue with this. This should have just been start of turn. I think if this was start of turn, I would have him above Kale. I'm thinking like I would actually like put him right here if their reduction was start of turn. I'd feel very comfortable at 4, but I think they're here because of that. It's such a game changer, that damage reduction right there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. They have potential. I'm very excited for the future, but right now I am very disappointed with their drop. We'll see. But thanks y'all for watching, and I guess I'll catch you in the next video. And let me end another right here on the screen. There it is. Peace out. Okay, so I thought about it again, and I'm adding this a little extra section. I'm gonna put them under Path Parker Goku and Gamma 1. I don't know. I'll admit I decided to go ahead and talk to some people, and I just like, I would like in the most difficult fights, I would rather use Path Power Good Goku or Gamma 1 above the androids. Really, I mean, like what they could provide is so much, but they just like don't perform as well as you would think. And even if we think about it, like the 35% damage reduction that they have, it's not like it makes them like invincible. It's not like they're like a team carry. It's like, okay, you know, even before they would get like, even if they take all these AoEs, how do I say it? Even if they're gonna take these AoEs and they're like, okay, you know, that's the one weakness. It's not like after they super attack, it's like, okay, they're invincible now, they're goated, they're amazing. They still kind of take a lot of damage against these hardest bosses. You know, they could still take decent damage, right? Like maybe like 400-ish K, like damage, 55%, which is my experience with them, right? But it's not like, you know, it's like they, like against a monster, they take like a freaking 400 normal, then a 500k or 400k super attack, and it's like, you're dead. Or in a lot of situations, if they don't have MVP 17 on rotation, and you have like a Goku on rotation with them, they take like 600k on a super, and then it's like you have like 700k HP. 35% reduction doesn't make them invincible. Maybe if it was like I don't know, 50% reduction on super attack. 35 is such a low number that I don't know why it's restricted beyond that. And if we consider like Path to Power Good Goku, right? I mean, isn't Path to Power Good Goku just like how do I explain it? Like a better, like what Path to Power Good Goku is what this shit wants to be. And you know why? It's because he gets this all his reduction on super attack, and he's giving everyone else damage reduction too, right? This unit gets a lot of stats and the multiplicative stats, but they still have the super. All this is given start of turn with Path to Power Kid Goku. Well, maybe not the stats, but you guys get the point. And he isn't restricted to giving his like actual stats at bare minimum. 7% reduction, like 8% reduction to everyone is absolutely crazy. And his team is just way better too, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I thought about it again, and I'm like, 5 it might be too high, and especially since I've been like, like the fact that I was considering it, like moving them down, like in the video, you guys saw that. That's that. So I think this is where I'm gonna have them, and this is in order. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Would I have him even above Super Trunks? I hate Super Trunks. You guys know I hate this guy. Like at least like they're providing like mega support. Like they're both like kind of like weird. I don't know. I'm done. Thanks for watching. Bye.